Hello and welcome to How to Speed Up Your Manifestations. I'm going to be giving you some practical things that you can start doing today to crank up the speed on your manifestations. Start actually attracting the things that you want to manifest today. Okay. So, who am I? My name is Paja Kagi. I am a frequency healer, creator, and quantum coach. So, what does that mean? It means that when I work with you, I identify the deeper patterns or energy blocks that are in your field that are creating resistance to you manifesting the things that you want. We release them so that you can align into the version of you who can really attract the life that you actually want to create, not the life that you feel like you were destined to live, right? So I am also a wife and a dog mom. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you've seen my most adorable puppy, Kika. And so in 2022, is really when I made a huge quantum shift. Okay. But up until 2022, like the 10 years preceding that, I was purposeless. I really didn't know what I was supposed to do with my life, right? I thought it was one thing. And so I like tried doing that, but it was all from this place of low self worth and disempowerment. And it was just from this place and state of just trying, right? And I was really, really stuck. And I thought, okay, maybe this is what I'm just supposed to do with my life. I'm just supposed to accept the fact that I don't really know what my purpose is. Maybe I don't really have a purpose. I was stuck making about $2,000 a month, maybe 2,500 a month around there. And in 2022, in the middle of 2022, is when I made my big quantum shift. And so by the end of 2022, I went from making 2K a month to making 40K a month. And then in 2023, I finished the year with 600K in profit. Okay. And this is where I really stepped into my power, found my passion, or rather, I like to say, my purpose and my passion found me because it was nothing that I could have predicted, which is what quantum leaps are, right? You often get something that you could have never predicted. Because if you could have predicted it, it wouldn't have been a quantum leap. Does that make sense? I was inspired by life. I regained that joy for life, and life truly felt like it was happening for me. So I made this quantum shift really just by focusing on upgrading my energy at a deep level every single day. That's what I continue to do, right? I upgrade my energy so consistently. I have a process to do that my frequency just keeps elevating to match the reality that I want to create or higher levels of possibilities that I want to create, right? I used to just dream of doing certain things, but now I know that I can. Right. There's a big difference between hoping and wanting and desiring, and then knowing. So now I live more from that state of knowing. And I have a whole process on this that I teach people, but I want to share some of the pieces of knowledge that I used with you here in this video, okay, to speed up your manifestation. So, number one, I really want you guys to use this information that I give you to really reflect on where you are right now, okay, when it comes to your manifestation process. Number one, state what you want, okay? How willing are you to state what you want? Be really, really honest with yourself. How willing are you to state what you want? Because if you have any hesitation in stating what you want, it's not a matter of like the universe is judging you. No, it's that you clearly have resistance to actually getting that thing that you want. Because you clearly think at a deeper level or believe at a deeper level that you can't. Okay. So your resistance to just even stating what you want, guys, it's going to reveal a lot of stuff that you need to release. Okay. A lot of stuff that you need to still process through. Okay. Some of these things could be low self-worth, self-doubt, fear of success, fear of failure. Okay. And those are the things that are in your field that is standing in your way. So for me, for years, I mean, it's so ridiculous, right? Because for years I was trying for something, but I could still never admit like out loud that I wanted it. But I had this fear of stating out loud like what I wanted to manifest. And so I'd always play small. I'd always diminish it, I'd always, well, I'd be happy. So here's one thing. Do you ever say, well, I would just be happy with this? Clear indication, clear indication that you are not aligned to manifesting what you want. Okay. Because you clearly do not believe that you are worthy of doing it. So again, some of these might be hard truths, but these are truths that you want to hear because most people just want to visualize and, affirm every single day, but it's not actually changing them. Okay? So because I know because that's where I was. So I was playing modest for years and it really just revealed to me how small in life I was playing. Okay. And when I really began to have the courage to really state what I wanted, it was scary. And you can even just do this with one friend, one family member who you trust. It was really scary. But that was when I really started to connect with that screw it energy in me so that I could then become the person who could actually make it happen. Okay. Now, some of you guys are gonna be like, well, I don't really know what exactly I want. First of all, you do. Okay. You do. I have sessions with clients where I ask them what do they want and I can tell they're holding back. And so I really ask them and then and then it takes them even like a few more asks. Okay. For them to really truly tell me what it is that they want. And they can't really lie to me because I can kind of see, what it is that they actually want. And so here's the thing, right? You don't have to worry about like, well, I'm not exactly sure. It doesn't really matter because it will change. Okay. So as you embody higher states of being, what you want to manifest will upgrade, it will change, it will shift. It doesn't matter. What matters really is you building the self worth in you enough to energetically state and claim whatever it is that you want right now. Even if in like 2 months that changes and you're like, scrap that. I want this. Okay. Because when I manifested all of these things in my life, I did not manifest it from my head. I did not predict it. I was not intentionally trying for it at all. At all. Okay. I wouldn't have even been able to see it. All I was doing was focusing on becoming an energetic match to something better. Right. And then the universe is going to deliver to you something that you probably wouldn't have ever expected in the way that you would have never predicted. Okay. So don't worry. But when I ask you right now, what do you want? Like, what's the first thing that comes to your head? Okay, lead with that. Even if it's like, I want a $10 million house. Or I want, a boat with, and having champagne with my amazing partner on the boat. I don't know. Okay. So this is your exercise. I want you to write down your wildest dreams. I want you to go so big. And when you try to hold yourself back or you try to negotiate with yourself, notice it. Notice when you try to negotiate with yourself. Okay. And instead of blaming yourself, like, oh my God, why do I keep on playing small? No, 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 don't do that. When you come up against a limitation within yourself, ask yourself, oh, get curious. Okay. Why am I limiting myself there? What is it in me that feels like I can't? What is that? What is that energy? That's saying, no, 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 let's tone it down. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back around. Okay. What is your fear of going big? What is your fear of truly stating what it is that you want? Where does that fear come up in you? Notice it. Okay. So I want you to really like take this seriously. Journal about what you really want. Go so big. And then notice where you get uncomfortable as you go big. Okay. It's going to reveal to you areas that you still need to work on. Okay. Number two, signal to the universe, okay? Take a small action step, any step. And I know that you've heard this many times before, but I'm going to give you the energetic reason why you have to do this, okay? Because it's really going to test yourself. How ready are you to be the person who can have that thing? Okay, so that person who can have all the things that you want, would they be the person who could call up someone and be like, hey, I want to get this deal done? Or hey, I want to create this. Are you down? Probably. Okay. So then what are the things that you're resisting doing or that you don't feel like you don't feel like you can do, right? Because that's just showing you the energetic kind of gap, right? The gap that you need to fill. Okay. So number one, it's going to reveal to you kind of that gap in embodiment from the version right now to the version you're going to be to manifest what you want. And number two, it's going to signal to the universe that you're ready to receive. Hey, universe, I'm ready to receive. I'm taking action steps. Look, I'm doing the things. I'm ready to receive. I'm in reception mode because I'm taking action steps to receive. And here's the important thing about this, guys. It is not about the outcome. It is not about the specific outcome. In fact, I don't want you to do any of these steps looking for an outcome because that is where you're going to shoot yourself in the foot. I've seen it many times. I've done that where I then blame myself because I'm not getting the outcome. It's not about the outcome. Okay. It's just about you using the action steps to become more energetically aligned into the version who can have the things that you want. And here's the thing, if you have resistance to doing those things, you know that you still have work to do or things to release in your field to become the version who can have those things, who can be a match to those things. Okay, this is all about the self-awareness and knowing, okay, well, where do I need to go deeper? Where am I bypassing? Where am I not really looking at myself? Where am I not really being honest? Because I'm telling you right now, it's not until I took complete accountability and responsibility for my life and I realized, oh my God, I'm creating everything. I'm creating all of this, that my life really, truly started to change. Okay. So for me, for example, I was taking steps before I was ready. Before I was ready. Okay. Every single thing that I have created, I have done, I have taken the step to do it before I thought that I could. I want you to hear that again. Every single time I did something, I took the steps before I was actually felt ready to do the thing. And I guarantee you ask anyone who's ever done anything big and you ask them, were you 100% ready to do that? And I guarantee you their answer is going to be no, but I was confident. No, but I thought that I could. No, I wasn't ready. No one's ever ready to do something that's going to take them to the next level. Otherwise, it wouldn't be taking them to the next level, guys. Okay. And so for me, I really started just doing things like, so as I was getting lighter by releasing more energetic patterns and like raising my frequency and elevating and elevating and elevating, I was just taking random action, random inspired action, calling that person, sending that email, putting myself on social media, doing that, doing this, doing that, doing that. Some of it, like most of it, didn't lead anywhere. But I was basically saying to the universe, hey, universe, I'm ready to take action. Meet me halfway. I am in reception mode to something unexpected coming into my field. Okay. And some people will say, oh, you were just lucky. No. Luck, there is no such thing really as just getting lucky because we create our own luck. The people who get, quote, lucky, it's because they were in the vibrational match or they were in the energetic match to create that luck. They were energetically matched to receive the luck. They created their own luck. I create my own luck. Okay. Luck is just when the universe meets you halfway energetically. I want you to understand that. When the universe meets you halfway energetically. Okay. In order to be lucky, you got to be energetically ready to be lucky. It does not come from hope. For years I lived off of hope and I thought that's how most people lived and I hope that's not the case, but I think that is how most people live. They live from hope. I hope I'm lucky. That's not when you get lucky, guys. You get lucky because you're energetically ready for that level of, quote, luck, because it's not really luck because you created it. Okay. So here's an exercise when it comes to taking just an inspired step. It doesn't even matter what the step is. I really want to stress that it doesn't matter what the step is, but you can do this where you can ask your higher self or the universe to send you a sign, an inspiration for the next step. You can meditate for, 5 to 10 minutes just alone, right? Connect with your higher self. Higher self, give me the inspiration, give me the idea. Show me the next step, show me the way, okay, within the next 24 hours. And whatever ideas come up in your head, just do it. It doesn't matter what it is. It's about you saying, hey, I'm ready and I'm listening. Okay. And if you do not get any answers, do the first thing that pops up in your head. If you don't get any specific answers from the universe or, from your higher self, or you don't think it's from the universe or your higher self, because likely it's always communicating with you anyway, but you're just not listening, do the first thing that pops up in your head, because that's probably something that came from your higher self. But again, the importance is just doing it. It's not in the outcome. Do not invest in the outcome. Invest in taking action. Invest in the energetic upgrade that you are looking for from taking action. Okay. Number 3, face what you're avoiding. Now, this does not have to be anything tied to your manifestation at all. Again, everything is energy. We're just looking for the energetic upgrades, right? So, what are you avoiding in life right now? I want you to be really honest. What have you been avoiding? What have you been putting off for like a week, a year, a decade? Having a tough conversation with someone in your life, confronting someone, telling someone how you really feel about them, asking for what you want from a boss, creating boundaries with that friend or that colleague. What are you avoiding doing that if you had no fear, you would be able to do very, very simply? Okay. Because your quote weaknesses, which are simply just lies that you tell yourself, but your quote weaknesses lie in the things that you actively spend your energy trying to avoid in life. And yet, when we do those things, when we when we actually confront our fears, we look at the things we've been trying to avoid. Those are the gateways to the next level version of us, the next level version of us who can start to really understand their power at a deeper level and who can create the life that they want. Okay. So, what are you avoiding? It could be the smallest thing, right? But in the next week, I want you to do one thing that you've been putting off. One thing that you've been putting off, sending that text message, setting that boundary, standing up for yourself in that way, speaking up for what you want. What is one little thing? It literally could be one little thing. Okay. It's a little things that have a ripple effect on your life. And I want you to signal to your higher self that you are ready, that you are doing that thing because you are ready to upgrade. You are doing that thing because you're ready to upgrade. Again, the biggest point here, you need to know your power if you want to manifest what you want. Okay. You need to know your power at a deeper level. You need to know that you are the creator of your reality at a deeper level. And as long as there are things that you are avoiding in your life, maybe a lot of things, those things will have power over your reality and they will actually keep you from knowing your power. Okay. And this whole process for me is all about just remembering who we are, remembering our true power, remembering our divine right as the creator of our lives. And every time I want to upgrade in my life, I do that thing that I've been putting off. I do that thing that I'm like, oh, it's not work. I don't want to do that. All right, here we go. Always leads to an upgrade. Okay. And then number 4, and this is one of the biggest ones. Okay. So if you are having trouble doing the things that were just mentioned in this video, I want you to sit with yourself right now. And if you're like, I don't know if those things matter. I don't really feel motivated to do any of those things. I'm not really sure if those things are going to work. I want you to ask yourself why. I want you to ask yourself why there are certain people who are going to watch this video, get something out of it, get a lot out of it, and they're going to start to really speed up their manifestations, and why you might be in the other category and how many times that happens to you where you just go, I don't think that's for me. It doesn't really resonate. I don't think so. I don't think that's the answer. How many times you just wait around? Okay. Or things just don't click for you, right? You buy the programs or you do the things, but for some reason you're like, I can't make it successful. That's very, very clear indication that there are deeper energetic blocks that are keeping you spinning in the same circle, or at least feeling like you're spinning in the same circle, that are keeping you stuck, keeping you unable to actually see the way out, find the solution out of your situation. Those are deeper energetic blocks. Okay. And so for years, I can relate to this if you are in this category, because for years, that's where I was. I was very stuck. I had no motivation in life. I was playing small. I was looking for all of the answers everywhere and I just couldn't find them. Or I thought that I would find it. And then I'd always sabotage myself. Right. I would do all the physical things. I would check. I was like a really good student. I would just check things off a list. I would do all the things they said, but none of it worked. And so, like I said, I spent most of my time just hoping for my manifestations, hoping for my life to change without really creating any real change. And it was incredibly frustrating because at a deeper level, like I knew I had potential. I knew I had stuff that I wanted to do. I didn't know exactly what those were, but I knew that I had potential and I knew that I could create something amazing. So, if you can relate to this, again, there are deeper patterns in your life that are creating the undesired results that feel, quote, impossible to change. But I am telling you from someone who's stuck here for literally like a decade. And I was like, I'm never going to change. I'm always going to be this unconfident person who's never going to see a way out, and nothing's ever going to work for me, even though it works for other people. It's because there were these deeper energies that were stuck in my field that went beyond mindset or subconscious programming, meditation, or any of the therapy, and or even like most energy healing and things like that. Like there's deeper patterns that are keeping you stuck, but that doesn't mean that you can't get unstuck. It just means that you got to get to the root of the issue, right? And so, as I release more of these energetic blocks from my field, this is how it works. The lighter I felt more myself. I felt more vibrant. I felt more confident. I felt like, oh, there's possibilities opening up to me. Even though I had no idea what those possibilities were and I wasn't really seeing them right away, I felt better in myself. The more motivated I then became and the more action I took, and the more action that I took, it started to feel good. Even if like everything wasn't going like exactly the way I wanted it to, it was like there was something deeper in me that was driving me forward. That was my higher guidance system. That was me remembering my power. That was me remembering my creatorship. Right. And as I was doing those things, right, that I showed you in this video, the universe just came and met me halfway when I was energetically a match and delivered to me a reality that was better than what I ever could have imagined. By the way, it was not something that was ever planned. And all of these things that I told you in this video, weren't really completely always directly related to the gift that was brought into my life, right? Because every day what I was focusing on, it wasn't even just the action. I was focusing on how can I continue to upgrade my energy? And I was also focusing on how do I release energy in my field that is keeping me stuck? Why? Why am I stuck, right? And I do this now like every single day. What I focus on is how do I continue to release the energetic blocks in my field? Why? Because at your heart right now, you have all of the codes of abundance. You have all the codes of fulfillment, purpose, happiness, all of those things in you right now. You right now. So then why are you not embodying it? It's because you have energy in your field that is making you forget, that is clouding it, but that doesn't mean it's not there, guys. I thought that I was just flawed. I thought that there was something wrong with me. There was nothing wrong with me. I just had crap in my field that made me think there was something wrong with me and it kept me stuck. So, examples of some blocks. So, there are 7 or more, of these main blocks that hold people back that I see all the time and that held me back, but here are a couple of big ones, okay? Just to give you an example of these blocks. So, fear of success. Okay. This happens when you can have all the skills, you do all the right action steps in life, but you always somehow back out at the finish line, or you sabotage at the finish line, or you lose motivation, you get cold feet, something, quote, bad happens that derails you at the last minute. It's probably this. It's probably the fear of success because, again, we are this powerful. If we have the fear of success at a deeper level in our field, even if our mind's like, no, I want success, I'm doing everything I can to create success. But if we're actually fearful of success, we are this power. We will create obstacles, physical obstacles. We will create people who are criticizing us. We will create all sorts of things to make sure we do not get that success. I definitely have had this for way too long. Okay. So I've seen it in action. I see it in other people. Also, sacrifice is a really big one, right? So this pattern is where you always feel like you need to give a lot of yourself in order to receive. You need to give a lot in a relationship, sacrifice your identity, sacrifice what you love in order to receive love back, in order to receive commitment. You always feel like you need to give all of your time, all of your energy, all of yourself in order to receive more abundance. Things can never feel easy for you. Everything is so like everything feels really heavy and just like, overwhelming and stressful all the time, right? That's you having to give in order to get. So if you run this pattern, of course it would be hard for you to, let's say, create better or create more, because at a deeper level you don't want to create more, because if you created more, that means what? That means that you would have to sacrifice yourself even more, whether it was in a relationship or it was at work or in a job or abundance. Does that make sense? So for me, because I had to work so hard just to make like $30,000 a year, it was really impossible for me to honestly imagine making anything more than $50,000 a year at that time when I was running this pattern. Because I was like, well, it's this hard to make $30,000 a year. Like, how hard is it going to be to make over 50K a year? Like, I don't think I can handle that. Right. So I'm just giving you an example of how these patterns work. Okay. So, and here's another example of someone, right? She was stuck for years. She came to me when she just got unemployed. She was depressed, playing small in every area of her life. She was single and alone. It felt like she had no opportunities, right? And this is all what she told me. Okay. So after she was releasing a lot of the guilt in her field that she was holding on to, and guilt doesn't even seem like a big thing, but it's a big pattern. But anyway, as she was releasing a lot of the guilt in her field, it's crazy. Like it's like within 2 months, she felt like a teenager again. She fell in love, got engaged. She never thought that she was going to fall in love again. I think she just had her baby and she's in her 40s. New opportunities out of nowhere came to her when it came to work and career. She's like living the life of her dreams, is what she told me. Right. And she really just released guilt and a couple of other patterns in her field. See what I mean by she had the codes of abundance? She had the codes of creating her most amazing life already within her. It was just a matter of unlocking it. There's another person. So this would be the fear of success and the struggle and sacrifice pattern. Her business was stagnant for years and years. She hired even like a business coach that was like 20K. And she still couldn't get her business off the ground. She was holding on to a lot of the past. Sort of just a lot of the past, right? And she was blaming herself a lot for the past, holding on to the past. She was playing small, low confidence, lack of motivation. Even though she was doing all the right things, she still had this deeper lack of motivation. Like she wasn't feeling like excited and like she wasn't really clicking into the things she was doing. And then after she released her fear of success, also there was a lot of struggle and like she had to give herself in order to receive, right? And then she would use the past to hold herself back. After she was releasing all those patterns, she regained her spark. She was attracting new clients within like 2 months. She felt in alignment with her purpose for the first time in a very long time. She felt excited about her future. All of a sudden, possibilities started opening up to her in her field to expand her career. And she now feels like she is living her purpose. Again, right? She wasn't doing all of this with her head, she was just releasing what she was not. Does this make sense? Third example, last example, right? Really, this person was attracting toxic partners. She was not being appreciated in her relationship. She took on the burden of people in her relationships. She just felt stuck in life, like she was living below her potential. She just generally didn't have the kind of confidence that she wanted to embody in herself. And then after she released a lot of the patterns related to low self worth and the fear of intimacy, she was offered a new position at work. She's now going to get married. Life feels exciting for her. She has regained her confidence again. It's like she's living a totally different reality than the one she was living before. All again, because she was just releasing the stuff that she was not. Okay. So are you willing to look at yourself authentically, truthfully? Because the reason why most people do not change is because they're not willing to look at themselves. They bypass, right? They're not willing to deeply look at themselves and see, okay, what am I holding in my field that is holding me back? What am I creating in my reality? Because we're creating all of it, guys. We're creating all of our challenges, all of our obstacles, all of our resistance. We are doing that to ourselves. I'm not saying we're doing it consciously, but I'm saying at a deeper energetic level, we are doing it. But then that means if you release all those things that are creating what you don't want, guess what? You can start creating what you do want. Okay. And there's an easier way to do this, which is by elevating your frequency, raising your level of consciousness. Because when that happens, you start to see your patterns that have been holding you back, right? You start to see the things at a deeper level that have been stopping you, the low self worth, the fear of success, the fear of failure. So that's why I created Reset Your Reality, which is an 11-day immersive journey to releasing the most common blocks that stand in people's way: fear of success, fear of failure, family patterns, guilt. And there's also daily exercises. So no matter how, by the way, advanced you are in this journey, whether you've done years of shadow work, energy work, no matter how much you've done, this is going to open up your consciousness to the next level. It's going to speed up your ability to manifest, possibly by years, because most people, even when they've done all of the work, they still don't know how to identify what's holding them back, because it's not something that you generally figure out with your head. You elevate to a new level of consciousness, and then you can see the things, right? So if you're interested in doing this, there's a link in the description where you can see some of the amazing testimonials of people who had immediate shifts from this 11-day process. I'd love for you to join. But I just want you to remember that if you're here and you're watching this, you are not your fears. You are not your self doubt. You are not the low self worth in your field that is making you feel like you can't, or you're too small, or there's something wrong with you. You're not your insecurities. And as you release and see what's not you, and you start to really come into alignment with who you truly are, you start to remember your power. You start to step into being the creator of your reality. You will see that you are limitless. You are. I genuinely believe that. How willing are you to go and get honest with yourself and see all of the crap that you are not? That is when you unlock your limitless nature, because the only person standing in your way is you.